What's up guys, I'm in Tijuana, Mexico. This is the walk from Revolution Avenue all the way to the border with San Ysidro. So that's the big arc. This is right near the red light district. Like a couple blocks that way. So right now we're on First Street. In the early morning or late at night, this street typically is best to avoid because cops do frequent this street during the times when it's isolated. Because even right now, it's pretty empty. And also in this street, I've almost gotten into a couple fights as well. So I wouldn't say it's really dangerous. Definitely you have to take precaution. Just 2 nights ago, right there on that bench, I was sitting on that bench with a friend, and a couple cops came. They ended up searching us, and they didn't take anything, but you never know. I actually used to live here. I actually used to rent at this very building right here. You can see there's an apartment building up there. I stayed there for like over a year. I would say this stretch is, I feel like it's safer than the last one. This part probably isn't very frequented by tourists because, as you can imagine, everybody who gets to the border after they cross into Tijuana, they either jump in a taxi, bus, Uber. So this part is like quite avoided, or not avoided, but it's neglected. There's some businesses that are definitely gonna open up later on. And then here's this little gate. Says, thank you for your visit and come back soon. And then we have the police station right over to the left. Now we're gonna cross the street. This is the bridge back to San Diego, back to California. So as you can see, there are some businesses out here too going on. Like I said, this area is like pretty neglected. I mean, there, as you can see, like there are definitely like people like still walking through here and stuff. So then there are a couple more businesses like in here, including like a dentist. There are a lot of dentists out here and stuff. Then you got some like merchandise here. Souvenirs and stuff like that. Yeah, actually, through this alley, there's just a bunch of different other stuff like businesses, and there might be some restaurants too. Actually, this is kind of like a hidden gem out here because people don't really walk through here at all. And then here's the famous canal where we're gonna go up. You can see the sign up there that says United States. This little structure is very interesting. I've been attacked in here. I've been punched in here by an old homeless lady. She was like screaming some cuss words in Spanish, and then she punched me in the arm. It was like right in here, right around here. That guy in the wheelchair, he's been on this bridge forever. He's always selling stuff. I don't know how much business he's getting. Now we're on this bridge. A lot of people cross on this bridge. As you can see, there's a freeway right here. This side actually goes towards the east, towards Tecate. This side goes to Playas. This side goes to the beach. A lot of people who live in Playas, they commute on this road daily. Right over here, this is pretty famous. They even got some shoes hanging off the lines, as you can see here. In this canal, there's been a lot of homeless and or deported Americans, and a lot of them shoot up drugs. I've heard of a lot of deaths, fights, attacks right out here. Sometimes the police or some local charities, they come out here and they distribute food. I mean, you can see even that guy like walking right there, like he's definitely not doing too well. Especially if he's walking on the freeway, you know, in the opposite direction. You'll see a lot of people walking on the freeways out here and stuff. That same woman in the red that you filmed earlier, she's definitely homeless as well because she's just screaming out random shit in Spanish. And then look at that guy with the shopping cart. Yeah. So there's definitely, it's probably not as bad as before, but it's definitely, you can still see the evidence. Imagine this multiplied by who knows how many times over, and then it was really bad before. They cleared out a lot of homeless from this area. There used to be guys, dude, when I would walk in the morning to cross over to San Diego, there would be guys in the canal like asking for money. I used to throw sometimes some money over. So as you can see over here, this road, this is the road entering Tijuana from the US. Just about every car you see driving through here, they're coming from San Diego. They just crossed into Tijuana, Mexico. On this bridge at night, definitely been people robbed on this bridge. I don't know how common it is, but when it gets dark, this bridge overall is not the safest bridge to be on. Sometimes in the mornings you can see blood, drops of blood on the bridge because somebody got stabbed at a certain time. Definitely a lot of things that happen out here happens because people get involved in stupid things. So yeah, but typically at nighttime this bridge is not the safest to go on unless you have a group of people to go with. They definitely will attack solo walkers. It will happen out here. The sign says, "We were born in America, we are American." I interpret that as a lot of people in Latin America, they don't like to hear when Americans call themselves Americans because they consider themselves Latin Americans, so they want to be included in the same category. And then this, I think this is closed. Yeah, it's locked. This little area right in here, I mean, it can get pretty dangerous. Could you imagine at night if somebody's like waiting in there for just random people walking? I'm not saying people get assaulted or robbed all the time, but yeah, shit happens for sure. So this plaza is empty. Look at all this space too. All this space and it's so empty. I feel like they need to put something like club, nightclub. I mean, they definitely have restaurants. They're missing something. They should try to repopulate this little area again. It's so close to the border. Why wouldn't they? This area is completely safe. I don't know how it goes at night, but watch your step. And what we have, we turn like the last businesses right before the border. We have some money exchange. Well, we have that dentistry, dental brush. That's like really close. We're like a few hundred meters out from the border. Right? We even have another dental clinic right there. Dentistry is really popular out here for the Americans. That's how a lot of people in Tijuana make their money. They offer their dental services to Americans for far cheaper than what it costs in the United States. Another drugstore over there, or pharmacy. And then pharmacies are big over here because Americans can get drugs like without a prescription. so that's why it's unlocked. And then we have like other money exchange places. Shit. Roads are not so nice. Also, as you can see, you'll have a lot of holes going on all over the place. People fill them up with garbage. More holes. Filled up with garbage. Another dental clinic. And right here we got the alligators. A lot of people go in there for like sports betting. Look at that. Look at all that. That is the car crossing from Tijuana, Mexico to San Ysidro, California. Look at all those cars. For some people, this can be like a 3-hour wait. Sometimes it gets longer. During COVID, I knew people that did 8 hours in a car together because the crossing was so crazy. I think it's because they closed off the other side, or they were closing lanes and stuff, and everyone was trying to cross over. There were just delays. I think also maybe they had a staff shortage because everyone was scared of COVID. Maybe it'll never go back to 100% normal, but it's definitely getting to that point. They have some lanes that they're constructing. They have this project going where they're constructing more lanes so people can cross faster, because a lot of these people that you see in these cars, a lot of these people are crossing daily. Okay, let's go. Watch your step. Look at all that, all these vendors right on the street before you cross back to the United States. Selling a lot of pots and flags, hats, blankets. Obviously they're not selling it very cheap compared to what you could get further into the city. Yeah, we have backpacks, we have ponchos. And we have another taco place. It's like one thing about some of these families you see that are right by the border asking for money, some of them are not legitimate. After we get off of this bridge, you're going to be in the pedestrian crossing. And as you can see, all these people walking over, they're crossing into the United States. The good thing is this is a Sunday morning. It's not very crowded. Sometimes you'll see this line and it will get really bad. Like, people won't be moving, just stuck there for hours going into the United States, crossing back in. See up there, right? Can you see it? Up there? So those people up there, they're walking into Tijuana. They just entered Mexico from the United States. That is the border crossing. That is the walk from Revolution Avenue over to the border crossing with Tijuana and San Ysidro. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.